Okay, hey, welcome back. Today we're gonna do a garlic cheese bread. I've been spending lots of time on YouTube trying to find out what's doing well, and garlic cheese bread is like the most popular thing ever. A bit of black truffle maybe we're gonna put on top. So garlic cheese bread, that's it. Let's get started. Okay, so I got a bunch of peeled garlic. We're gonna make garlic confit. This is like a really dope thing to know how to make. It's really useful because I find I always buy I'm sure tons of people do this, they buy the like 3 bulbs of garlic, and then like I use 1 and the rest just sits in the fridge, ends up going bad. So this is a way to preserve your garlic. Not only does it preserve it, it makes it taste really nice. If you ever had roasted garlic, you know, it goes like quite sweet, really, really good. So we're basically going to do that by confiting it. Confiting is this French term that basically means it's cooked in fat. Well, I think it actually means preserved in fat, but yeah, either way. Garlic and oil, that's it. I use olive oil, of course. What's cool about this is obviously you get the really nice sweet roasted garlic, but also when you're finished eating the garlic or using the garlic, you have all this really nice garlic oil that goes great on pasta, great for like sauteed vegetables. You just put this on low. It will start to bubble a little bit, maybe not low, but like medium lowish. It'll start to bubble a little bit. You don't want the garlic to pick up any color. You're not looking for it to brown on the outside. You're looking to cook it really slowly so that it cooks and gets really soft all the way through. I actually have a batch that I did ahead of time, and I'll just show you what it looks like. So if I pick this up with a fork, it's like so soft all the way through. So what we're gonna do for this garlic cheese bread is we're gonna use confit garlic. And I'm going to take a couple cloves with no oil. I mean, there'll be a little bit of oil on it, but the great thing about confit garlic is you can use way more, and there's not as much of a bite to it. So I'm going to go pretty heavy on this. Then you just kind of, this butter is at room temp too, and I give it a little bit of a head start just by dicing it up a little bit because it's easier to mash. So I'm just going to kind of pulverize this garlic with a fork. Make sure that's all kind of has a head start. Quality sea salt. A little bit of black pepper in that. We're making a super simple version of the garlic confit today, but if you wanted to like spice it up a little bit, you could throw some whole chilies in there, even just some chili flakes. You could throw thyme in there, rosemary, and then you get like another layer of flavor in there. And that stuff holds like for months because it preserves it. So it's worth taking a little bit of time to make that. We just want to like blend these together. Not too crazy, it doesn't got to be perfect. Just really mash it up with a fork. Make sure the butter and the confit garlic becomes one, or as close to one as possible. Then I have a piece of French bread. Traditionally people do use French bread, and I would say you can use French bread or anything with a thick crust, because you want a crust that the butter, as it falls through the bread and cooks, that it can't come out the other side. Like something really soft like a brioche, or just like kind of classic white bread with a really small crust that you can cut through really easily, that butter will seep out and then you'll lose a bunch of your flavor. So this like has all these nice pockets that everything will fall through, and then it's got this protective thick crust where everything will be contained. So I'm gonna put a generous amount of this on there, and then just kind of spread it. Make sure that you go edge to edge on this. And then cheese. So you can use, I would say, like, I really like a softer cheese and a hard cheese together in this. So I did a mozzarella and a manchego cheese, but you could use like a mozzarella and a pecorino romano. You could use mozzarella and a parm. You could honestly use cheddar, Gouda. The soft cheese is like is the better melting cheese, and then the hard cheese is nice because it's a little bit saltier. So we're gonna load this up pretty good with cheese. We want this to kind of like, as it cooks, we want that cheese kind of start to drip on the sides of the bread. Let's just use it all. We're gonna put this into a 350-degree oven. Depending on the size of your bread, how big everything is, will kind of vary the cook time a little bit. If you're finding that your cheese isn't quite melted and your bread's getting a little bit too toasted for your liking, you can always cover it with foil and then it will steam, which will help melt that cheese. But I would say if you're gonna do that, just pop that foil off to re-crisp it up for the last 2 minutes or so. I have a feeling this will take 15 minutes. So we'll pop it into the oven for 15 minutes and we'll check on it then. Okay, so about 20 minutes later, our garlic cheese bread is done. Smells good. I'm gonna take it out of the pan right away. To me, this is pretty perfect in terms of like the crispiness of the bread. Just a little bit more crispy. And then if you're doing a big piece of this, and let's say you have a big piece like this and you want to cut it so it's a little more manageable on the plate, when cheese just comes out of the oven, if you cut things, it will melt right back together, and then it'll like stick together when someone goes to grab a piece, and it'll create this big cheesy mess. So with cheese, especially when you've taken it like to get it crispy like this, you want to give it a little bit of time to relax and rest. Dude, this thing sucks. Okay, awesome. You can go ahead and not use that. I did buy that at the dollar store, so what do I expect? So I have some black truffle here that's gonna really take the garlic cheese bread up a bit. Ideally you use like a mandolin and slice these really thin, but the one I bought is not great. So now I'm obviously not rich, so I couldn't buy like fresh black truffles. This is just a preserved black truffle, so I believe they like kind of vacuum seal it in oil and then take it out and jar it and suck all the air out of the jar. But the flavor is still really nice. So really thin with truffle, it's quite strong. And then just to finish, some flaky sea salt, especially for those truffles that are probably unseasoned. You can like smell the truffles so intensely. And then it's had a few minutes to rest, so you can see that like bread, all that butter has soaked all the way down to the bottom. So we achieved what we wanted to. It's gonna be really buttery and rich all the way through. This is the most loved thing on YouTube, so let's hope this gets some views. It's got like the perfect amount of garlic. It's not that like raw garlic that you can feel even on your teeth. It's really soft. It just tastes like beautiful roasted garlic throughout. Super buttery. I think that those two cheeses worked really well together. They're kind of milder cheeses, so they kind of let the garlic shine a little bit. And the truffle, obviously, even the preserved black truffle is like really good. Good salt throughout. I really like black pepper on that as well. There's garlic cheese bread. There's one of the most popular things on YouTube. I hope this video does well. I hope somebody makes that. If you want to know how to support me, all you have to do is like the video. Honestly, I'd like even a stupid comment, like a smiley face or like nice video. That really helps me. If you watch any videos going forward, if you can just watch the videos all the way through to the end. Should have said that at the beginning of the video, but here we are. That's the direct way to support me. It really helps. I'm trying to grow this channel a little bit. We've been at it a while and we're kind of at a standstill, so we're just kind of trying to keep trucking and hopefully like anyone watching can help us out with that by just doing those small things. I hate to be YouTubey and like ask for it, but we want some views but we appreciate anyone that's been viewing the whole time. So yeah, that's it. Garlic cheese bread. There it is. We'll see you in the next one.